Beneath the ordinary world lies a veil, and behind it, the voices of the lost still whisper.
We are your guides into the shadows, where true crime meets the paranormal.
From chilling crimes to haunted histories, we uncover the stories that refuse to rest.
This is Veil of Echoes. You wake up in the middle of the night. The house is silent, but something feels wrong. You stare into the darkness, listening, waiting. Because a few seconds ago, you could have sworn you heard someone walking upstairs. Except, everyone else is asleep.
At least, they should be.
Then you hear it. Not footsteps, not a voice, just the sound of breathing. Somewhere in the darkness.
Close enough to know you're not alone.
For 13 years, the Smurl family claims something shared their home. Something they couldn't explain. Something they couldn't escape.
And whatever it was, it seemed to grow stronger with every passing year.
Some called it a haunting.
Others called it something far darker. Something that had no intention of ever leaving.
This is episode 67, The Smurl Family Haunting.
Welcome to Veil of Echoes, a cinematic, immersive experience where true crime and the unexplained collide, because some stories aren't confined to crime scenes or forgotten graveyards. Sometimes they follow families home.
Tonight's story takes us to a quiet duplex in Pennsylvania, where a family claimed they spent 13 years living alongside something they couldn't understand.
A haunting that would eventually attract national attention. Paranormal investigators, and some of the most recognized names in paranormal history.
We're your hosts. I'm Lindsay.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Bria. Before we begin, this episode contains discussions of alleged paranormal activity, disturbing encounters, and experiences that some listeners may find unsettling. Listener discretion is advised. And before we step into tonight's story, we want to take a moment to spotlight a couple of recent reviews from our listeners.
The first review comes from Morbid Jin, who wrote, "The absolute best pod there is. Incredible storytelling and group dynamic. My fave by far."
And this one comes from Crispy Chris, who wrote, "I'm obsessed with true crime, so this is right up my alley. Highly recommended."
Yeah, that's really cool. Thank you guys for the reviews.
Thank you.
Hell yeah, thank you.
And we'll continue to highlight these reviews too, so... But no, seriously, thank you. Every rating, every review, and every message, every share, you guys are helping Veil of Echoes grow far beyond what we ever imagined. And we appreciate more than you know.
And if you've been listening for a while, but haven't left a rating or written review yet, this is your sign.
Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, and you may hear your review featured in an upcoming episode.
But yeah, we read every single one, and honestly, seeing them come in has become one of our favorite parts of creating this show.
And our first winners for the month of May is Morbid Jen and Rhonda Endress.
Yeah, congratulations. This is our May giveaway winner. So,
And all you have to do to submit, leave a rating, a written review, screenshot it, and either email it or text it to one of our many social media platforms. And speaking of community, next Saturday, June 13th, our official listener name polls will go live across all social media pages.
We've received some incredible suggestions already, and now it's your turn to help decide what the Veil of Echoes community will officially be called.
So head over to our Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook on June 13th and cast your vote. We're going to put these polls up, and then we might put some little teaser polls ahead of time, just so you guys have an idea of what some of the names we're thinking of. And then this month, we're also officially launching something we've been excited for a long time called Echoes from the Veil.
A listener-driven series featuring your stories, paranormal encounters, unexplained experiences, strange coincidences, true crime experiences, or moments that have stayed with you for years. If you've experienced something you still can't explain, we want to hear it.
Yes, and then we will read your guys' story on the show, or if you guys even want to be on the show, we can also do like a Riverside link or something and record it. That'll be fun. You can send your stories to us through our social media pages or email us directly at veilofechoespodcast@gmail.com. Some of your stories may even be featured in our future episodes.
Because tonight's story isn't about an abandoned asylum or a forgotten cemetery. It's about a family, a home, and the terrifying possibility that sometimes the place you're supposed to feel safest becomes the place you fear the most.
Long before television crews, before paranormal investigators, and before the headlines that would make them famous, the Smurls were simply a family trying to rebuild their lives.
Jack and Janet Smurl weren't looking for ghosts. They weren't interested in the paranormal. And they certainly weren't expecting to become one of the most talked about haunting cases in America.
They were simply looking for a home, a place where they could start over. In 1972, Hurricane Agnes devastated parts of Pennsylvania. Entire neighborhoods flooded. Homes were damaged, and thousands of families found themselves displaced.
Among them were Jack and Janet Smurl, along with their young daughters.
Like so many others, they were forced to begin again.
In August of 1973, the family moved into a duplex on Chase Street in West Pittston, Pennsylvania.
It wasn't perfect. The home was old, it needed repairs, and there was plenty of work to do.
But it was theirs, a chance to rebuild after everything they'd lost.
Jack's parents moved into the adjoining side of the duplex. The neighborhood was quiet, the community was close-knit, and for a while, life seemed normal. Then, small things started happening. Things that were easy to ignore at first.
A strange odor, the smell of sulfur, or something rotten, appearing without explanation.
Then came the noises. Footsteps, knocking, banging sounds from empty rooms.
Nothing dramatic. Nothing that immediately screamed haunting. Just enough to make someone stop and wonder if they really heard what they thought they heard.
But over the next several years, those strange occurrences wouldn't disappear. They would escalate.
And according to the Smurls, whatever had entered that house was only beginning to make itself known. Because the worst nights were still ahead of them. That reminds me, what was the ghost who was what was he slinging around the kitchen? Was it flour? What was it? Remember one of those? What did we read?
I think it was flour.
Yeah, like an asshole.
Yeah, just flinging it around because he was just having a ball of a time with the flour. Here, I'm gonna make me some bread.
Yeah.
Is it the monk?
Yes, I think it was the Black Monk of Pontefract.
It sounds familiar because that's like, what story was that?
Yes.
Yeah. Just for no reason. Hey, here you go, bitches. Clean that up.
Yes.
Thanks,
Have fun
Dick.
cleaning that up. That's gonna take forever.
No
Yeah,
doubt.
like
Fuck.
flour? Yeah.
Because even while you're cleaning, it still smears, so you still gotta wipe it down.
I mean, that was kind of a clever,
Fucker.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it's definitely a good one. If you just want to fuck with somebody and not
Yeah,
break
exactly.
something, just throw flour everywhere.
That would really piss somebody
oh
off.
yeah, definitely.
Because it takes a long time to clean up, but
I get mad
no
every
harm.
time I'm making something and flour spills over. I'm like, gosh dang.
I wouldn't say no harm, no foul, because that's a big foul, but
Yes,
no
it
harm,
is.
no harm.
True. Yeah, it's just like a
No harm, but big
screwing
foul.
with you type thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Because it sticks to shit, too.
mm-hmm. And then when you try to wipe it, it smears. Yeah. So yeah, that was a clever one. Monk of Pontefract.
Let's start sending people packages like that. Just poof,
Yeah.
flour and confetti. Fake butterflies.
Oh my gosh.
That's what you should do to the veil packages. Try to find a way to get like wind up bats and bugs, and when they open it, they.
Yeah, I don't want to give you a heart attack though.
Warning: flying objects.
Exactly.
Stand back.
Like,
Have a
I don't
pull
want to be
string.
the reason someone died. Yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
At first, the Smurls tried to explain it away. Old houses make noise, pipes settle, wood expands, and floors creak.
But according to the family, the sounds became impossible to ignore.
The knocking grew louder. The footsteps became more frequent. And sometimes they seemed to move from room to room, as though someone was walking through the house.
Only no one was there. Then came the feeling, that unsettling sensation of being watched.
The kind of feeling that makes you stop in a doorway or look over your shoulder for no reason.
Jack and Janet would later claim they often felt as though someone else was inside the duplex with them, listening, waiting, watching.
And no matter where they searched, they never found anyone. Then something happened that generally frightened them, something they struggled to explain.
The family's German shepherd suddenly became agitated, growling at empty corners, staring into rooms where nothing appeared to be there.
Animals are often sensitive to things humans miss. At least, that's what many people believe.
Oh, yeah.
I can attest to this being a veterinary technician now. They
Yeah.
do. They can sense things that we cannot sense.
That's so weird. Just like
And
little
it's-
kids or something.
Yes, just like what they say with little kids. Like,
Ugh.
It's all
When
part
I
of the
think-
experiment.
when I think of imaginary friends, I think of a kid talking to a damn ghost. I don't think of an imaginary friend.
Right? Yeah.
Like,
Are they talking to an imaginary friend, or is it just a glitch in the Matrix?
like-
or.
but
They're
after
seeing the real
becoming
people.
a veterinary technician and learning this stuff, they can sense things that we cannot sense.
Well, I know what. Sometimes the cats would stare in the dark.
Remember
corner.
Benny used to do that.
Yes.
Benny would just raise his head out of nowhere and be like,
I'm
now,
like,
sometimes
okay.
though, you also have to factor age in because cats do get dementia really bad.
Aw,
And
that's
cat dementia,
depressing.
that's one thing. They'll just sit and they'll stare.
Oh.
Or they'll cry, like they'll meow all night long because they're confused because they don't know where they're at.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that dogs and cats get dementia like adults do. Like,
Wow.
dogs get doggy dementia, which usually causes them to walk around in circles
I wonder
and
if that's
howl.
what Thor. Remember, he got that one night. He was just like screaming, and then he ran into the boys' room.
yeah, he just got up off the ground and ran into the boys' room. I'm like, where the fuck are we going?
And honestly, it probably was.
Aww.
A lot of your old dogs get dog dementia.
Well, that's depressing.
Yep.
Goliath.
Yeah, so anytime a cat gets up in the middle of the night and just starts meowing, meow, 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 meow,
Well,
meow.
that's what they do.
And they're
now.
old.
And they're not old.
And well, if they're old, usually that's a sign of
Yeah.
dementia.
Yeah. Gosh.
Or like walking around in circles, staring off into space. Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. Well, especially like with this though, like if they start growling in the darkness, I'll be like, okay, we're not.
We're leaving. Goodbye.
And according to the Smurls, one day the dog was suddenly thrown violently against a wall by an unseen force.
See, I'd be fighting a motherfucking ghost.
The dog is okay though. The dog was fine.
I would be throwing hands at the air, being like, "Where you at, bitch?
Yeah.
You just touched my dog. We're gonna go. You can throw me as violently as you want against a wall, but you cannot touch my dog.
I know, poor dog. He's just curious.
No, absolutely fucking not." After that, the family stopped laughing off the strange activity.
As the years passed, the activity seemed to grow bolder.
Beds reportedly shook during the night. Family members awoke to strange sounds, unexplained cold spots, and the feeling that someone was standing beside them while they slept.
Sometimes they claimed they could hear movement in empty rooms. Other times, they heard voices, soft, indistinct, gone before anyone could make out the words.
Whatever was happening, it wasn't confined to a single room or a single night.
The entire house began feeling different, heavier, darker.
And according to the family, the activity wasn't fading. It was escalating.
What began as strange noises had become something far more unsettling.
Because now, the Smurls believed whatever was inside their home knew they were there.
And it wanted them to know it was there too.
And soon, they would claim it stopped hiding in the shadows. By now, the Smurls no longer believed they were dealing with an old house or an overactive imagination. According to the family, whatever was happening inside the duplex seemed to be growing stronger and more aggressive.
The noises continued, the footsteps, the knocking, the strange odors. But now, they claimed something else had begun happening.
Something that was becoming impossible to ignore.
Family members reported waking up with scratches on their bodies, marks they couldn't explain.
Some appeared overnight. Others seemed to appear shortly after strange activity inside the house.
Zach, didn't you wake up with scratches on your back before?
Yeah.
I have.
Oh.
I have no idea how they got there. I never messed with any animal, nothing, and I had 3 scratches on my back leg.
Oh.
Yep.
His was on his back.
Yeah, mine was perfect, all 5.
Yeah, it was literally, on the side of my leg, and it just was like that.
Because I was fucking looking in the mirror right before I went to school, and I was like, what the fuck? Looked like somebody attacked my ass. Whether paranormal or not, the incidents left the family increasingly frightened and increasingly convinced that something was sharing the home with them.
Then came the sightings. According to the Smurls, shadowy figures occasionally appeared in different parts of the house, never fully visible, never staying long.
A figure standing in a doorway, a shape moving down a hallway, a dark form disappearing around a corner.
Always there long enough to be noticed, but gone before anyone could get a closer look. The family wasn't the only group claiming something strange was happening.
Over time, neighbors will report hearing screams coming from the duplex. Sometimes when the Smurls weren't even home.
And whether those reports were accurate or not, they added to the growing reputation of the house.
Because by this point, the haunting was no longer a private family problem. People outside the home were beginning to hear the stories too. Imagine living in a house where every unexplained sound feels deliberate, every shadow feels suspicious, and every night becomes something you have to endure.
That's exactly how the Smurls later described those years. Not a single terrifying moment, but a constant feeling of dread.
A feeling that never completely left.
And eventually, the family reached a breaking point.
Because if what they were experiencing was real, they couldn't handle it alone.
And soon, they would turn to some of the most famous paranormal investigators in America.
And that's when the world finally learned the name, Smurl. By the mid-1980s, the Smurls claimed they had spent years living with unexplained activity, years of noises, years of fear, and years of wondering whether the next night would be worse than the last.
The family sought help from priests. Blessings were performed, prayers were said, But according to the Smurls, nothing seemed to stop whatever was happening inside the house.
And eventually, their story attracted national attention. In 1986, the Smurls reached out to two of the most well-known paranormal investigators in America, Ed and Lorraine Warren.
My favorite paranormal investigators of all time.
I will say, I know there's like different, like people think they were fake or whatever, but how cool of a life would that have been? You
That'd
know,
been
go into
amazing.
different like houses and
Just traveling America looking for ghosts. That'd be dope.
yeah, that would be fun.
Demons.
That'd be cool.
They were more centered around the demon aspect since
Yeah.
they were demonologists anyway, so.
Right.
The same investigators associated with some of the most famous haunting cases of the 20th century.
Such as what? The Amityville Horror.
The Conjuring house,
Yeah.
the one over in England,
Yes.
with,
The Enfield Poltergeist.
yes, with Janet or whatever her name
Bill
was.
Wilkins. Sorry.
My name's Bill Wilkins.
Bill.
They've done a shit ton.
Geez. They investigated over 10,000 cases. The Annabelle doll, the Perrin family, which was the
That was the Conjuring house.
Yep. The 18th century farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island. The Amityville Horror, of course. The Enfield Poltergeist. The trial of Arnie Cheyenne Johnson.
Yep, that was the one The Devil Made Me
Yep.
Do It.
The haunting in Connecticut. I remember
Yeah.
they were tied to the Schnedeker family.
Yeah, because didn't they stop in for that part?
Yeah. After the Schnedeker family moved into a former funeral home. And I want to watch that movie again.
It's
I
been
really
a hot
like
minute
that.
since I've
I
seen
like
it.
both of those, really.
Southington, Connecticut, to be closer to their son's cancer treatments, they reported escalating attacks by dark entities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
They had quite a
didn't they
few.
move into a morgue?
Yeah, the funeral home.
Yeah, because the basement, they still had, like, lab tables and stuff set up
Yes.
when they moved into the house.
And they're like, "Where do you want your bedroom?" He's like, "I want it down here." Like,
Yeah. Sorry.
all right.
Closer to death.
Right.
And they couldn't open that door for nothing. Wake up, it's open. Like, I think I want to go back upstairs.
Right. After visiting the duplex, the Warrens came to a disturbing conclusion. According to them, the Smurls were not dealing with a single spirit.
They believe multiple entities occupied the home.
The Warrens claim they identified 4 separate entities: an elderly woman, a violent young girl, a sorrowful man, and something much darker.
Fucking Vecna. Get out of everything, Vecna. God dang.
He's everywhere. Get out of my head.
Right.
A demonic presence they believed was controlling everything else inside the home.
Even these self-proclaimed scientists tried to get into the possessed place. They were not successful, but these demonologists from Connecticut were. This pair tried to rid evil spirits with the presence of God. After a night in the Smurl home, their reaction?
It's very powerful. It's invisible. I don't care if you want to call it a devil or a ghost or a demon. There's something in this home which has the intelligence to inflict physical and psychological harm upon this family.
And according to the Warrens, it was growing stronger. As prayers were performed, the Warrens claim the house reacted. Doors rattled, furniture shook, and strange sounds echoed through empty rooms.
And then came one of the most infamous moments connected to the case.
According to Ed Warren, he was inside the house during the investigation when something appeared on a nearby mirror. A message.
2 simple words.
Get out.
According to Warren, the message had not been there moments earlier. And for those who believe the Smurls, it was proof that whatever occupied the house knew they were there. Warren would later claim that he witnessed something else, a dark mass forming inside the home.
A shape emerging from the darkness, neither fully solid nor fully shadow.
He also reported sudden drops in temperature, unexplained noises, and activity that intensified whenever prayers were spoken.
Whether those events were paranormal, misunderstood, or something else entirely, the investigation pushed the Smurls' haunting into the national spotlight.
But if the Warrens were right, the family wasn't dealing with a ghost.
Or even several ghosts.
According to them, something far darker had taken hold inside the house. And it wasn't ready to leave. Which meant only one option remained: exorcism. If the Smurls hoped the Warrens would provide answers, they didn't get the ones they wanted.
Because according to Ed and Lorraine, the activity wasn't ending. It was escalating.
And if the source was truly demonic, they believed only the church could intervene.
Over the years, multiple priests visited the home. Blessings were performed, prayers were offered, and religious rituals were conducted.
But according to the family, any relief was temporary.
The noises returned, and the fear returned. And so did the activity.
As the haunting gained national attention, reports began circulating that exorcisms had been performed in connection with the case.
Some accounts describe multiple attempts over several years, and others suggest the activity simply moved from place to place.
According to Janet Smurl, whatever they were dealing with seemed unwilling to leave, no matter how many times they tried.
By now, the Smurl family had become national news. Reporters arrived, television crews appeared, and curious visitors drove through the neighborhood.
1986, Jack and Janet Smurl went public with the story of demons invading their West Pittston home.
Being made afraid to live is what it has come down to.
Jack Smurl told of the living nightmare, one that included levitations, screams in the night, his kids and dogs thrown around by ghouls, and a violent ghost that raped him.
Pick the mattress up and drop it very rapidly, like this. Like that. Like it looks like a carpet, just like a carpet, like you would, a housewife would have a carpet and shaking it out.
You go to bed waiting, listening to make sure that the children will not be hurt.
The family found themselves trapped between two realities: those who believed them and those who didn't.
For some, they were victims. For others, they were mistaken, or worse, making it all up. Not everyone accepted the Smurls' claims.
Some psychologists suggested stress, trauma, or family tension may have contributed to the experiences.
Skeptics questioned the lack of physical evidence and pointed out that many alleged events could never be independently verified. Even members of the Catholic Church expressed uncertainty regarding what was actually occurring inside the home. And decades later, people are still debating the same question.
If you had lived in that house, heard the footsteps, experienced the voices, and watched the activity escalate year after year, what would you believe? Would you be convinced something paranormal was happening? Or do you think there may be another explanation for what the Smurls experienced?
I believe paranormal 100%.
Well, because if you think about it, every haunting, it's the same thing. They hear footsteps. It's gonna, like what else?
They're all connected the same way.
Yeah.
Starts with noises, small movements, shadow figures, misplaced stuff.
Yes.
Escalates to louder banging, more understood sounds and words.
And then it ends up turning more violent.
Possession.
Especially when you start to hear the three knocks, because that's a mockery of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
When you start hearing that shit, it's like, you're demonic. Like, I'm out.
All right.
Bye.
Exactly. Where's the priest at?
Have a good day.
The Holy
You can have it.
Trinity.
Yeah.
You can have the house. I'm done.
I would like to witness a real exorcism. I mean, I know that's impossible, but I would like to witness one. I'm not.
Well, become a part of
church.
I was about to say, become a part of the Catholic Church. Devote yourself to Catholics, and then you can witness them.
Yeah.
I just want to see one. You know, I could probably be scared in the middle of it. Be like, all right, don't come near me.
Let us know over our social media pages, because honestly, this is one of those cases where people tend to feel very strongly one way or the other.
Yeah, we also want to hear your guys' thoughts on this case too, so please put your comments on what you think too.
Yes.
After years of fear, years of investigations, and years of unwanted attention, the Smurls finally left the Chase Street duplex behind. For most families, moving would have meant a fresh start, a chance to close the door on the past.
But according to the Smurls, the story didn't end there.
The family later claimed that strange activity continued, even after leaving the duplex. Unexplained noises, dark shapes, the lingering feeling that something had followed them.
Whether those experiences were connected to the original haunting, or whether fear itself had become impossible to escape, depends entirely on who you ask.
But for the Smurls, the nightmare wasn't something they believed was tied to a house. It was tied to them.
Eventually, the family sought additional help through the Catholic Church. According to later accounts, a final exorcism was performed, one that was never publicly documented in detail.
And according to the Smurls, the activity finally stopped.
No more voices, no more footsteps, no more nights spent wondering what might be waiting in the darkness.
For the first time in years, there was silence. But the story itself was far from over.
In 1986, their experiences became the subject of a book titled The Haunted.
Years later, the story was adopted into a television film. And decades after that, it would inspire a new generation of horror through the Conjuring franchise.
I need to buy that book. I want to read it.
Is this Bathsheba?
No.
Which one was the Smurl family?
It was the last Rites,
The last movie that they did.
with the mirror.
Oh, I gotta watch that one again.
Yeah. What began as claims from a single family in Pennsylvania had become one of the most famous haunting cases in American history. And yet, the central question remains unanswered.
Were the Smurls truly haunted?
Did a demonic presence torment their family for more than a decade?
Or were there other explanations? Stress, trauma, suggestion, misinterpretation. A combination of things that slowly transformed ordinary experiences into something terrifying.
The evidence depends almost entirely on testimony, stories, memories, experiences.
And that's exactly why the case continues to divide people decades later.
And maybe that's why the Smurl haunting still lingers. Not because everyone believes it, but because everyone can imagine it.
A strange sound in the middle of the night, a shadow where there shouldn't be one, a feeling that someone else is standing in the room.
And the terrifying realization that no one else saw it.
Whether the Smurls were haunted by a demon, a misunderstanding, or something in between, their story reminds us of one uncomfortable truth.
Home is supposed to be the place where we feel safest. The place where we lock the doors, turn off the lights, and finally relax.
But if the Smurls were telling the truth, the thing they feared most was already inside, waiting. And sometimes that's far more frightening than anything waiting outside. Because some houses are haunted, some stories never leave. And that concludes this episode of Veil of Echoes.
If you enjoyed tonight's episode, make sure you're following Veil of Echoes on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss a new release.
You can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube for episode clips, tarot-style case cards, community polls, giveaways, and behind-the-scenes content.
And if you've been enjoying the show, please consider leaving us a rating or written review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It helps us reach more listeners than you can imagine, and you may even hear your review featured in an upcoming episode.
This Monday, we conclude our 3-part series on Columbine.
After the gunfire ended, the story was far from over.
The survivors, the families, the investigations, and the question that still remained decades later.
How did Columbine change America? Could it have been prevented?
And why does this tragedy continue to haunt us more than 25 years later? Because long after the headlines faded, the echoes remained. And the lives of the survivors.
And the families who never got to bring their children home.
And in every community that would be changed by school violence in the years that followed. Until next time, keep your ears open.
And the veil